Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on our seventh episode of Marching Forward with Flow. First of all, let me apologize for having to reschedule. I honestly thought that I was going to be able to still host this episode, even though I was in transit. I was traveling from Atlanta back to Nassau, and unfortunately, the same time that I was supposed to go live, I had to board the plane. So Pete was gracious enough to reschedule, and I'm so grateful that he is here with us today. I am your host, Andrea Pratt-Smith, and I'm joined by Pete, and Pete is joining us all the way from Australia. So, Pete, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, Andrea. My name is Pete Omotosho. I am an Agile coach here in Australia. So, greetings from down under Australia. This is around 7 a.m. in the morning, and it's a cold and wet day here in Melbourne, where I stay. Generally, I am very passionate about project management, and I live and work in the agile space as well. So I'll say, let me just keep it so short like that, Andrea. Anything project management, anything agile related, yep, I'm quite interested.
Okay, that's great, Pete. Well, I meant to tell you first of all, happy belated birthday. I know you recently celebrated a birthday, so I hope you still saving my cake in the freezer.
Oh yeah, it's safe with me. So we'll definitely see in November, and definitely I'll deliver your your cake. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes.
Yeah, so speaking about birthdays, my sister actually is she just left Australia yesterday. She went from Atlanta to Tokyo and then she went to Australia for her birthday this month. And she was so surprised when she got there that it was cold because she didn't carry any warm clothing. So she was like, "Why didn't somebody tell me when I reached Australia it was going to be cold?" I'm like, "You didn't ask. I didn't know."
Oh, it's really freezing cold at the moment. We're the middle of winter, and I'm not sure whether your sister came to Melbourne. If she was in Melbourne, that, Melbourne is really, really cold at the moment. Very cold.
Wow, I'll have to ask her which part of Australia she went, but she was totally caught off guard with the weather because she was expecting it to be balmy and it was freezing. So, speaking about November, let's talk a little bit about a project that we're collaborating on because I don't think people realize that even though I'm in the Bahamas and you're in Australia, that we still could collaborate on projects together. So, we decided that we would put in a joint paper or joint proposal to the PMI Global Summit for the conference that's coming up in Rwanda in Africa this year. And we submitted a survey for persons to complete so that we could gather some data to help us draft and craft our proposal. So, would you like to share exactly what our thinking is for this joint proposal?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Andrea. Like you rightly said, project management or agile ways of working is beyond borders. These days, despite the fact that you're far away in the Bahamas and I reside in Australia, we still have common grounds to really look at how you know um, the agile in the community is doing within two different areas. Africa for me because I'm African and I have Africa, at the middle of what I do, and of course you're from the Caribbean. So what we're looking at is we're looking at the impact that both of us, with the community that we lead, have the impact that we have in the community, and how we are pioneering Agile in the community, both in Africa and the Caribbean. And what we are doing is, like rightly said, we have submitted our presentation. We've submitted, a proposal to PMI. But in order for us to really make it, data driven, we have also called on people in the community to help us draft the that draft the proposal so that we can really, despite the fact that we want to share our motivations to start in our committees, our experiences, our success stories as well, we want people to have an idea, or they would want them to be represented, as the word, in what we are going to deliver at a conference. So, uniquely, I would say there are about three objectives. Number one is around cultural adaptation, which is how project management is being tailored to fit into different cultural context, looking at the Bahamas and also Africa as well. The second objective goes around community engagement, and there's a story to that. Maybe we can get to it later on. From my side, we're looking at the strategies that we use to build and maintain strong community involvement, and also supporting everyone within a community. And lastly, we're looking at assessing the impact that we do have through these community engagement practices. So we want to find a way of measuring the impact that our different initiatives are having on the development of the community and also project management as a whole. So that's just really what it's all about. And hopefully, we're going to have enough data to really put these talk together. And we are quite, optimistic that it's going to be a very, very good talk.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic about it as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the results from the survey. So if you happen to come across our survey, either from Pete's LinkedIn profile or my LinkedIn profile, and I'll also put the link to the survey on our YouTube channel when I post this recording. So please, if you see the survey, take the survey and share it within your network so that we can make sure that our presentation is truly data driven, because we really want to know, how Agile is impacting communities, like Pete said. So, talking about communities, I know my listeners probably know that I'm the founder of the Bahamas Agile and Project Management Community, which I'm so proud that we celebrated our third year anniversary just this past May. And we are near our target, our goal for this, I guess, this quarter of 1,000 followers. So, Pete, tell us a little bit about the community that you formed.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. So, a couple of years ago, I formed the Africa Discipline Agile Meetup, which is a community that I drive across Africa. At some point, there was a need for community engagement and also to really give back to the community. Now, truth be told, personally, as a professional, I've taken a lot from the community, and it gets to that point when I looked at how much I have to give back, and I thought it's a good opportunity to give back. And at that point in time, there is no other discipline agile, community, and so I formed one. And what has been coming as a result of that is good community engagement. We've got a lot of people that have gone into mentoring. Is a good opportunity to network with people. The promise I made to the community members is to show up at least once a month, and then we bring practical sessions to the community, and we make it, very, very relatable, so that they can actually take ideas in the sessions back to work, and they can apply it as early as possible. It's been a very good journey, good stories that are coming from there in terms of the impact. People are getting jobs, people are getting more good contextualized information, people are understanding the nugget and also the practices that we share over there. And much more importantly, the connection, networking that goes beyond that. People are forming this connection that makes the world of projects, the world of agile ways of working even more impactful in the community. I can be more proud of how much we have done in a couple of years. And the thing is, it's still going stronger. Sometimes when I look at your community and I join your sessions, and I can just see the similarities. And I think this is one of the things that actually brought us together, because there are quite a lot of synergies. There are quite a lot of learnings that we can learn from each other. And of course, it's been a great one. It's still going strong. The next one is coming later this week, or well, I say this week, so it's going to be next week now, because today's the weekend, and we're looking at really doing the next one on Wednesday, and it's going to be a panel discussion. It's ask me anything session, where Africans who are experts in their field would come, and anyone can join, ask questions, and there are quite a lot of um, you know knowledge in the room that we can share, and and let people and answer people's questions when they join the session.
Yeah, I saw your Ask Me Anything event that's coming up, and I made sure and register for it and block that time off on my calendar. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from the awesome panel that you have assembled, and to make sure I ask my questions. But talking about networking, I am always amazed at how marvelous God is and how he works, because when you talk about networking and open up doors and divine connections, I feel as though the way we met was such a divine connection. It only could be God in the works, because I met you when I attended the PMI Africa conference last year in Nairobi, Kenya. And that was my first time going to Africa. And it is just amazing, because I'm like, okay, I met so many people, but it was a few persons who really touched me and stayed in touch, and we were able to collaborate on projects. So I just smile when I think about it. I said God sent a Bahamian to Kenya to meet an African who lives in Australia. So every time I think about it, I just smile, and I'm like, I'm like, look at God, and when you talk about networking, that's some serious networking. So,
Yeah.
and I
uh,
I feel like, when we collaborate on projects, it's not even about us getting anything from it or gaining from it. It's about helping people. And when you talk about the synergy, I feel the same way about working with you. I feel as though we're like-minded, and that we generally care about helping people. So I think anything that we put our hands to, it only
mhm.
could be blessed and magnified, because the intentions are pure, and people are benefiting from what we are working on. So
Yeah.
speaking about what we're working on, I'm so glad that we were able to actually form a partnership, and that you were able to help me to become a PMI Authorized Training Partner and a CAPM instructor, because we're getting ready now to launch a few class dates coming up in September. And persons in the Bahamas have been asking me, when am I going to do the training? They're looking forward to becoming certified. And it's all about helping people to really mold their careers and start their careers in project management. And I'm really grateful to you for being so open to collaborating and trusting me to come underneath your company's brand to be able to be an instructor with you. So I want to thank you for that opportunity. But can you share more about the training that your company offers, Pete Lauren?
Before I do that, Andrea, just let me quickly mention something about networking, which you spoke a little bit about.
Mm-hmm.
So the advantage of networking cannot be overemphasized. It's really, really very, very. You can measure it. It's immeasurable. The question is, I remember one of my elderly friends asked me in those early days, right? Who are you having breakfast with? Who asking that question to me, where you're having dinner with, all those opportunities are there, all those collaboration in seeds are there. And I remember when we met as well. I remember our discussions. I remember we had dinner, with other very good friends, which we
Yes.
still stay very connected to, and you can see how big things are happening from there. So, if you're listening to us today and you find networking daunting, don't worry. It's just having a conversation with somebody else, which can result
Exactly.
in big or bigger things. So don't hold back. Reach out. 95% of the time, people will say yes to network with you. So just reach out.
Yes, and when you say ask the question who you having breakfast with, you're actually having breakfast at 7:15 in the morning, and I'm about to have dinner at 5:15. So we're having breakfast and dinner at the same time. That's the power of networking.
You can say that again. You can say that again. Yeah. All right. So, going back to your question, right? So, first of all, I work with Pete Lauren Consulting, which is a authorized training partner with PMI, and then we have quite a number of certifications and trainings that we do support people on and organizations. And it's been a very good journey, for a couple of years that we've been doing that. There is an opportunity to really collaborate with you, Andrea, on that space, and we are doing amazing stuff from there. So technically, the gold standard PMI offering, which is the PMP. I still remember my PMP exam so many years ago. So it's really one of those exams that that it doesn't really theoretically prepare you, but also make you do the work, because once you are certified, you know your onions. And of course, with the other different certifications as well, like the CAPM, which you rightly mentioned, which is an entry level certification that is offered by the PMI. It's more like a foundational project management certification that looks at the principles, the terminologies, the best practices, which are aligned in the PM book, which is the project management book of knowledge. So if you're just starting your project management, journey, or you're thinking about starting, the CAPM is an ideal certification for individuals looking to starting their career in project management, or maybe you just want to really demonstrate your understanding of the fundamentals, principles of project management. You can go on with that, and of course, talk to Andrea, talk to me, and then we can help you navigate your way to that. There are other Agile related project management certifications as well. PMI ACP, that was my very first with PMI so many years ago. That is the foundation, and that really put my mind to what Agile, is all around. So immediately after I finished my PMP, I did go for PMI ACP, and it was a good foundation for me. Also, we've got discipline agile certifications ranging from the entry level one, which is the discipline agile scrum master certification and training. There is senior scrum master certification, which is the DASSM, disciplined agile senior scrum master. Of course, if you want to be a coach like me, then you can go on for discipline agile coach. Or if you want to lead organizations or look at how they can be aligned with their value stream, then you can be a consultant in that. You're talking about the discipline agile value stream consultant, DAVSA. Happy to say that all the certifications that I have mentioned today, I have all of them, and they are real good value for money. They're also good value for the experience that you gather along the way. So, if you want more information, please reach out to either Andrea or myself, and we will be happy to support you. That's what we do in the community, right? And so, if you reach out to us, we will support you. And we just spoke about networking. Please take that jump, network with us.
Yeah, exactly. Pete, that was amazing. You went through all of those courses so quickly. It's like you have a cheat sheet. I don't know if you have something written down, but that was excellent. And I want to congratulate you on your recent successful project, the launch of your new website. And I think it's just amazing and it's beautiful and it's really comprehensive. So if you could tell our listeners how they could reach your website and find out more about the courses that you explain.
All right. So the website. Thank you for stuff. First of all, thank you. It was a good little project. As an agile coach, as a project management professional, you want to also put some quality into what you do. So I designed that as a little project, and so it was more or less a good opportunity to research and make the customer experience on the website even better. So the website is PeteLaurenConsulting.com. That's PeteLaurenConsulting.com. And once you jump on that website, you'll see our offering. You will also see the certifications that we support people on. Well, technically, we look at agile training and coaching. There are advisory, consulting, and strategy, part of the business. And if you really want to go on that journey of business agility and transformation, we can support you on that. More importantly, we also help people with talent pool. So if you want to support your organization, your team with good people, good and competent resources, when I say resources, human talent, reach out to us. We can help you with that. So on top of that, we also have some customized training, which are not certifications. So you just want to improve, if you just want to improve the competence level of either yourself or your team members, we can customize training for your needs. So pretty much that is what it is all about. And we just want to make that website really easy to navigate and also easy to use, and that's what the new project was all about.
Yeah, well, I think you aced that project very well because the website is very functional and user friendly. I want to just switch gears a little bit and talk more
Mhm.
about agile communities. Like I said, 3 years ago, I founded the Bahamas Agile and Project Management Community. And similar to you, Pete, it was because there was a need. We did not have a community of practice for project managers or agilists in the Bahamas. And the whole field of agile is not very known in the Bahamas. So it was definitely a need to have a community of practice for like-minded professionals to be able to come together and really learn from each other and share knowledge, and also a platform to build awareness of agility in a country that's not necessarily agile centric. So we've been making excellent strides over the past 3 years of getting more persons knowledgeable about agile and agility and actually pursuing certifications in the agile field. Like I've helped persons become scrum masters. I've helped persons who were going down the agile coaching track, even though I'm not an agile coach, but I think the knowledge of agile helps person with that. And you are doing similar work with your community of practice geared toward helping persons to network, share knowledge, and really strengthen each other as a community. And one of the things that I want to highlight, and I feel as though persons need to understand, even though there's a lot of different community of practices that are out there, and most of us are virtual or some are hybrid and some, some do in-person events, we're not in competition with each other. There is possibilities for collaboration, and I really get um a little bit peeved when I see agile community of practices not allowing persons to collaborate with them and help their followers or members to really get the best of what's out there. They kind of feel as sometimes they feel as though they're threatened by another community, and I'm trying to understand, what's that thinking? That's not even an agile way to think, because
Mhm.
it's like we're not in competition. We're supposed to be in collaboration. So have you ever experienced anything like that?
Certainly, we have experienced things like that. But again, like you said, the question is what principle is guiding you? Is it the principle of collaboration or competition, for example? If we even look at some of the principles that guide a faith, a life, one which is 1,000, and two which is 10,000, that alone should give people that have really put some effort in launching a committee of practice to collaborate with other people. Now, one of the things I tell myself when I was launching is to bring ideas from senior part, senior members of the community that I've worked with in the past, bring them on the platform and share their journey, which means the foundation is on collaboration, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I tell people 10 things, probably those are the 10 things I know. But if I collaborate with one other thing and it brings is 10 things, and I collaborate with another person and she brings another 10 things, that means there are 30 of them that we can share on the platform,
Yeah.
right? And that is really, really my own ways um, of really bringing these group together. Now, this group that I found is just there to promote the real value that lean and agile practices can bring. The freedom that the so many practices that we know can bring into projects and people's life. And I am not a custodian of the whole knowledge. I know there are quite a number of people in the community that can do that. And so I leverage the power of the people in the community to do that. So, for example, the upcoming session that I've got, I am bringing three people from different areas, right? I have Yannick that is joining me from Australia. It's going to be very early in the morning, and he's been gracious is not enough to really join the session. I've got Patrick joining from the US, and I've got Pamela joining from the UK. Just imagine, right? People are joining from different continent to speak about their experience about how the world of work is, the agile ways of working, and people get to see how this perspective. If I am really talking about my little corner to people, I am restricting them. So collaboration will ace the day. Now, the whole idea is why are we really putting these things together? The why will definitely show or give we always show in the way communities are formed. If it's because of an ulterior motive, of course you will say that. That's where you say, "Oh, I want to guide it. Is my baby." Or if it's just to share knowledge, if it's just to really make sure that a competence cuts across borders, then collaboration is the in thing. We need to collaborate. We need to collaborate, and we need to collaborate. Like I said earlier on, I've taken so much from the community, and it's a little opportunity to give back to the community, right? And this is what the community is doing, right? To make that happen.
Yes, and I second everything you said 100,000 fold. Like I totally agree with everything you said. And another thing that I really hold dear to my heart is the principle of the open hand. Like you can't receive anything if you have a closed fist. So my hand is always open and willing to give and to share and to collaborate because I know if I close up my fist and I clench my fist, then I cannot receive anything. So I think we have the same mentality when it comes to serving, and I
Mhm.
think that we're both true servant leaders at heart. So, Pete, I want to thank you so much. I know this half an hour just whizzed by. It felt like we just started the conversation, but we're at our time box in a few seconds. But I want to thank you so much for waking up early to be here with me. And thank you for understanding with the need to reschedule. I honestly thought that I would have been able to join from the airport, but I had to be on the plane. So, thank you so much for making this such a great episode. I look forward to speaking to you more this week, getting our projects that we're working on really solidified and put some task in motion and make sure that everything that we collaborate on, it's done with excellence, care, and with servant leadership at heart. So, Pete, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Andrea. We are hoping to change every time, and then we don't say that with our mouth alone. We act it as well. So if there's anything, anytime we need to open to change, we are open to change. And I'll say thank you for bringing me on board to speak on your, marching forward with flow, event. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.